That was
All
funny.
right. Hello, everyone. We are live. Sorry, I forgot to play even the bloody intro music today, but that's okay. We're live here to talk about the World Cup. First round, round 1.5, essentially, is what we're going to be talking about today, because a few games of the second round have also happened. So we'll go over those also.
Don't call it the second round, bro. This is the second set of matches.
Yep. So 1.5. 1.5.
And we can see here we've got a person wearing a Germany jersey, so there's not a lot of doubt about what team he's going to be supporting in the Germany-Spain game. So
Big game.
tell me first and foremost how you're feeling about this game, because there's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk obviously about the most impressive teams in the tournament. So I want to start with this whole Germany-Spain game preview first. So talk to me about how you're feeling about the Germany game, how you felt about the Germany-Japan game.
Yep. So going into this game, I can't
especially knowing
Yeah.
what happened in the Japan-Costa Rica game.
Yep. Going into this game, I have to say I'm a little scared shitless for Germany. It'll be a quick exit if they lose today, or even if they tie. They have to win.
They have to win, yeah.
Do they have to win? They don't have to
win anymore. If they draw, it comes down to the last round.
If they draw, it comes down to the last one. But essentially, you want a win, period end. You could get a tie.
But you're not dead. You're not dead, bro.
No, not dead. Which, by the way, the result this morning with Costa Rica winning against Japan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great result. That's a lifesaver.
Yes. But also, too, so I guess, like you were saying prior to starting here, Japan losing to Spain in the first round, it was an impressive performance by Spain. They literally, it was death by 1,000 passes. I mean, to have 780 passes in a World Cup match is ridiculous.
Seriously.
No, they had actually 1,056 and 589 in the first half, and I was you're right.
That's what it was. Yeah. 500 in the first, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So
goal difference of 7.
Mm-hmm. That's
goal
huge.
Difference of 7.
But with this matchup, I feel a little better just because of the results yesterday, or I guess now 2 days ago, of the Iran England in the first round, where England just mopped the floor with them. I think it was 6-2. And then Iran goes out and gets a gets a win. Against Wales. So I and then seeing Japan lose today to, against Costa Rica, it kind of gives me a little hope that it may have been a little bit of an outlier, but it can't be that much of an outlier. They are a good team. They are a very, very good team.
Yeah, they're a very good team. And in my opinion, if you look at Spain, I think Spain is probably the best coached team in the World Cup, if that makes sense, because
with Luis Enrique,
I feel like that's a manager that you take out of the international scene and put him in a Premier League club, that he will make that Premier League club competitive. I don't think I can say that about any other manager other than Hansi Flick. I think Hansi Flick, if you drop him into the Premier League, he'll do well as well.
Louis van Gaal.
No. Louis van Gaal is from thousands. The football has evolved so much in the last 4 or 5 years of Klopp and Guardiola. Like the level of intensity that you see in football today compared to even 5 or 6 years ago before Guardiola or Klopp, it's so much different now. And I feel like all these old school managers will just get rolled over in the Premier League today. But those two, I think, are probably the two best coaches, the most modern coaches, I'd say, in the World Cup. Mm-hmm. So that is what gives me a little bit of, that's what makes me think that Spain, what they did against Costa Rica might not be a fluke. But then again, you can never say for sure in a knockout tournament.
Yep.
You can never say never in a knockout tournament. Who was that team? There was the biggest smash and grab that I saw a couple of days ago. I'm trying to remember who that team was. But while I try to remember that, Nikhil, what are your thoughts about who do you think, in your personal opinion, has been the most impressive team in the tournament so far?
I'll take it a little differently. I loved Spain. I loved that match. I thought they danced around football, right? Literally danced around it. Everybody else was physical. They were just non-physical. They were so beautiful on the ball.
Yeah.
But they didn't have much pressure on it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's much. And Spanish teams, when they get pressure on the ball, the problem has been they are never. So 7 goals may not happen, but they are always devoid of ideas once pressure starts, right?
Yeah.
But I do look at Pedri and Gavi and their sort of connection, and I think these sons of a bitch are going to craft somewhere or the other.
Yeah.
Now, it might be this one. It might be any one of the next 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
But these are players, like they're proper players. Then I watched France last night properly. I will be honest. I watched a few games, not too many. I watched England against
USA.
The USA. And now you're gonna have to explain to me, Jared, why you were complaining about the US team, because they're
yeah. I told you that too at the beginning of the tournament, that they have good players.
They were outstanding in this match. They should have scored, and they shouldn't have just scored. They should have hammered England. They should have hammered it.
Their finishing was just shit.
So their counter press against a team that comes from a league that understands the counter press very well is one of the most impressive things I've seen in this tournament thus far. Right?
Agreed. Yeah. But however,
I look at the US as a team that if it were to win its next match, it deserves to be in the next round. It firmly deserves to be in the next round.
I agree. I can agree with that. But with coming away with 2 ties in that group, that is probably one of the worst things. Yep.
Hang on. Yeah, they fucked it up. They fucked that up. They fucked the result. They fucked the result up. But they're a good enough team, in my opinion, the way they're playing right now. As long as they have the legs for this, fucking they'll beat anyone.
But the thing with Iran is also that Iran is a bloody sweaty team.
England the night before. England the night before. Then I watched France at 9:30 that night in India. And France versus Denmark was interesting in as much as I didn't think Denmark was Euro Championship Denmark.
Euro 2020 Denmark. No.
They weren't that Denmark.
Yeah.
But they were good. They were good. And so France is still, though, Euro France, which is when the defense goes shit, it goes to like muddleness.
Crumbles.
For 10 minutes, it's like a pudding. It's like a pudding. Like you can just walk through this thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I watched Argentina last night, boys.
Oh my God.
I watched Argentina last night. I bitched about the
Messi show.
No, it wasn't the Messi show. I bitched about the first half like a bitch and a half. Like it was my team. It's my team. I bitched about it. And every Latin friend I had who's a big football fan messaged me saying, no, this is how we Latin American teams play. Because the first half, we just look for space. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if I take that to be the honest truth, and my Latin friends are always honestly true.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Just look at Messi's positioning when he receives the ball. He is at least 8 meters from any defender.
Yeah.
They figured that out. He takes a shot from there. He's good enough to take that shot from there.
So let's come to these countries one by one, because I want to.
Hang on.
I know we went to Argentina too quickly.
I told you Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, so I want to come to all of that. So let's save. It's like cooking a nice biryani. We gotta take it slow. So Spain first and foremost. I know I take on board what both of you said about Spain. So with Spain, I agree that is a team that, in my opinion, that looks probably the best coached team on the football pitch there.
This best coach business is a. So my whole entire point with Argentina.
So there's more points to it. There's more points to it. 1 second. There's more points that I want to add. So obviously, it looks the best coach team. It is probably one of the most technically proficient teams in the World Cup as well, in
No,
terms of the
definitely,
players that they have. Probably one of the most technically proficient teams.
in the
The
world.
one thing, the one thing that I would be very interested in seeing with this Spanish team is what they do against teams that are extremely physical and extreme. For I mean, in the sense that if you have wingers that like Dembele, or you have a winger like Mbappe against a 35-year-old, I don't know, Jordi Alba and a 96-year-old Azpilicueta, I would like to see how that goes. Because
don't forget ancient Busquets.
Yeah, and 103-year-old Busquets, who still got it. To be honest, he still got it. So I'd like to see how that goes, because the Spanish midfield is, I would say, superior to the French midfield. Even though I love that player, Tchouaméni, that's a great player, I think. I still think the Spanish midfield is probably better. But what I'd like to see is, in a knockout competition, when individual skill can really turn the tables, how does that team, the tiki-taka sort of team, do against a team full of physical monsters? That's what I'd like to see. Go ahead, Nikhil.
Right. So, if you come to me first, I don't think individual talents turn an entire tournament. They turn matches, maybe potentially matches. If you're saying Spain versus France, as in the way in which you framed it, I don't think France get running space against Spain easily. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can bitch about Alba, I'll accept that. Not Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta is a world-class defender for
He
every
is. He
single
is.
season
But this
and year
season's
of
been a
his life.
little up and
And
down
you
for
will
him.
never see a mistake from Azpilicueta. Like, he is just genius.
Yeah, but I feel like this season's been very up and down for him.
But I think you're underestimating the Pedri Gavi combo and whoever they may add in between, and they have Koke, there's an unlimited range there. But let's say that this starting lineup is a starting lineup.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a lineup from which you get the ball too much in the first instance. You may run it over from time to time. You may have runners. But who are the teams with runners? I mean, you say Germany. Who's the runner in Germany?
Sane,
Gnabry and Sane, I think.
Yeah, so if you have Gnabry as a runner, these guys will take care of it. They will take care of the deeper press.
Yeah, but I just personally feel that. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, because I think Spain.
I don't think the German team. I don't think the German team has enough of a complexity in their passing football and their possession football for Spain to be beaten. I mean, there might be a draw. It might be at worst that, because I think Spain just got an open fucking game. Like,
what do you think about the French team there, Jared? Like, I want to come to Germany, because I want to save that for the match preview between Spain and Germany. That's a big game coming up tonight. But what do you think of the French team? How do you think, we've talked about how Spain have looked. How do you think France have looked?
So France, in my opinion, they've done what they needed to be able to win these games. And like Nikhil mentioned, individual talent can be able to win you certain games, like this last game that France had with who did they last play?
Denmark.
Oh yeah,
Nikhil, a Chelsea fan just commented that Azpilicueta has an ass this season. So there you go.
But so against Denmark, they won 2-1, and both goals came from Mbappe.
Yeah.
So they're doing what they can to be able to get out of the group. I don't think that they've really kicked it into that next higher gear, which we all know that they can be able to do at any time, especially the farther and the deeper that they go within these knockout tournaments. So I'm waiting for that to happen. It is a travesty that Luka Hernandez went down, tore his ACL after the first match. So tough on him, and that back line, it really gives me worries. I know you don't care for Upamecano that much. He has developed into a better player, and you can kind of see it in this tournament. However, though, I just think that back line is too frail. And unfortunately, they get caught out a lot because the left back and right back with Pavard and Taylor Hernandez or whoever they have out there, they do push up the field quite a bit. And
it wasn't
so
even
they get
Pavard.
caught
It
out on
wasn't
the
even
counter.
Pavard.
Who was the right back?
Right back
Who's the right back? No, not yesterday. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who was the right back yesterday? I don't even remember. Anybody remembers in the comment section? Who was
I have it right here.
Yeah. Who was it? Oh, it was Koundé. It was Jules Koundé.
Jules. Yeah. So he got caught out a couple times.
Yeah, because they kept trying to play 3 and 2. You know what they try to do? 3 and 5 every time. So close up in between. The problem, I don't think, is that with
Canada scored, by the way.
France shuts, like they literally, their defense shuts up.
Yeah,
they have done this in the Euros. They are not good enough for this. When their defense shuts up, it just shuts up. You're done. They're literally done.
Yeah, they do have some really good defenders. I feel like they have
their names, systems shut up. Like literally, they shut up. So what happened is even the goal comes from wide, right? Like so, Theo Hernandez gets into a position where he is the higher number, right? Like so, the outnumbered on the right, and he's a left back on the left, and he can run, and he is really fast.
He's really good.
And Mbappe knows this.
That's
Mbappe
the thing, that Hernandez is fast. Mbappe is fast.
That's right.
Dembele is just an unreal talent.
Yeah. So it's speed.
So good.
Speed. It's not necessarily.
It's speed and physicality is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. You can score with that, but can you protect with that?
That's the thing. I feel like
there were about 3 occasions in that match after 2-1 when Denmark weren't too far away. Like. And even a Denmark that I didn't think were as dynamic, like they were really dynamic. They were really dynamic in the Euros. Like the way the way the ball went to the far side was really dynamic. This time they weren't dynamic, but they were still able to penetrate.
Well, I do have to say that I think in last match France did a lot better of a job of controlling the midfield than I think they got credit for. Like Rabiot and Chouameni, I think did a very good job of controlling that midfield and then feeding, creating situations where basically Mbappe was one-on-one or Dembele was one-on-one with the defender. That's the situation they were trying to create every single time. And it's going to be very interesting that when a very possession-heavy tiki-taka sort of team comes up against a team that's very physical, because for you as a tiki-taka team, and I use that as an example of some of the Man City games that we've seen this season. For you, or even Jared, do you remember the Arsenal United game?
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic example of that, where you have a team that's extremely technically proficient, that controls most of the ball, that creates a lot of good chances, don't take a lot of those chances, and then United hit them on the break, create 3 gilt-edged chances, score every single one. Their XG was pretty shit, but they created 3 clear chances on the break with extremely physical, fast players, scored every single chance. And I feel like knockout tournaments present so many scenarios like that. If it's a league, Spain wins the league. But if it's a tournament, that's a different sort of one-off game. It's a different sort of question, right?
Yeah, definitely is. And, that's why you kind of have to weigh out some of these like outlier matches where, like England beat Iran 6-2 or, Spain wins 7-0 against Costa Rica, So, I mean, we'll see.
Fucking Japan.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. So, yeah.
But it's round 1 and Sham, that's an excellent point because I think some trends are starting to emerge. And for me, I think there are sort of longer term trends starting to emerge because what I saw of Argentina last night, Spain in general, I would like to see a repetition of Spain because Spain can be very weak. They can sometimes be very weak in the way they play the game. Like it's not, you can do a 7-0 in that same format of play and you can look like a very lame 0-0 in that same format of play.
Yeah.
So that has to be seen with them. When you look at Brazil, again,
let's come
they
to Brazil.
played like Argentina. And that is something I want to talk about.
Okay.
Both these teams, like with Argentina in particular, because I watched this game very, very carefully, and it was something it meant a lot to me. that first half was very disappointing. I felt they weren't cohesive. There was no liquidity. There was no fluidity. They just the passing. But when I talk to my friends and when I talk to a lot of people who know Latin American football, and I did at that time, like there were friends of mine from the LLM, from various other places.
Yeah.
Like this is our way of sussing out gaps. That first half is a chess match. The Mexicans know what they're doing. The Argentinians know what they're doing. This is how
dire was that Mexican team, though. My God, sorry to any, don't want to offend any Mexicans, but holy shit, that was a dire team. And you go to Twitter and you search Mexico, it's all Mexicans just shitting on that team. Like, what was that team? That was that was the most dire Mexican team I've seen in a while.
You may do that. You may do that, but eventually these guys sought out space and they found their space, and then they scored goals. And the moment they scored the first goal, that 5-3-2, which was Mexico, became a 4-4-2 for Mexico versus a 5-3-2 for Argentina.
Yeah.
Right? And Argentina sat back.
Yeah.
And then that corner arrives, and in that corner, they memorized where the space doesn't exist. Sorry, the space exists. And he walks in. Enzo literally walks in for the first pass. Because there is no gap in the first pass. And then after the first pass, there's a bit of a step over on the goal.
Yeah.
You can criticize like a keeper, a defender, whatever it is. But the first creation of space, they understood this in the first half.
Well, Jared, I was getting a lot of like 2018 Argentina.
When I look at this and when I look at the first 20 minutes of how they played this match, and the next 15 minutes of how they held that match, I look at that and I think Argentina exercised a point of control, which is a very different definition from how we understand control, because we watch a lot of European teams.
Yeah.
Right. So when we watch a Spain might be 0-0 at halftime, but we feel like Spain's played their football.
Exactly.
Now, when you watch this Argentina match, you feel like Argentina, what kind of football was this?
Yeah.
It was their idea.
I was getting a lot of like 2018 Argentina vibes from this Argentina team as well. Like if you remember the 2018 Argentina game, Jared, Argentina team, it was very similar. You weren't really sure what the patterns of play were, what the style of play was, and they were kind of reliant on like either Messi or Lautaro Martinez or Di Maria pulling out a blinder and saving them their asses. I mean, they lost pretty badly to Croatia.
I do not agree with this. I do not agree with that.
So one second. So they lost very badly to Croatia. They didn't do really well in what was their first game? Was the first game that they lost to Croatia, or which one was it? I think they drew one, and then they lost to Croatia, and then they won against Nigeria. Right?
Yeah.
So they beat Nigeria again with a really sweaty goal in like the 85th minute or something like that.
Yeah. Got through and got killed by 4-2 by France.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
which that even though the scoreline says 4-2 for that match, it truly should not have been, because it was 4-0 at like the 75th minute. I mean, France were having their way. The last two goals were consolation goals.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. They were ahead for a bit. Argentina were definitely ahead for a bit in that quarterfinal, in that knockout match.
Yeah, but if you look at the XG for that game, and if you look at chances created, possession, I think like France were on top. They were deserving winners, in my opinion. Like even if you look at the data backs that up as well.
I think the singularly most important point.
It was 4-3. Sorry, it was 4-3.
For Argentina, it is 4-3.
Yeah,
it was 4-3.
I have a nephew here who's killing me. So I had to verify that with him. But the singular point that I think
what's his favorite? Who's he supporting in the World Cup?
He supports the winner. Okay, this is the way this generation.
So he knows all the data, but he only supports the winner. That's why. That's what data people do. That's smart.
No. So the thing I will say about Messi, and I love Messi, and I think Messi is a great player. Ronaldo is a great player, but these are not controllers. These are not players who get into midfield and who can actually control the midfield. That was Maradona. Right? When Maradona won a World Cup, the reason why the world went nuts is he literally controlled a full World Cup.
But he ran the show,
That's right.
He
That's
ran
right.
the show
From
like
pass to
Mbappe
pass.
ran the show
It wasn't-
yesterday.
It's not assists. It's
Yeah.
pass to pass.
Yeah.
I'm the central piece of all of this.
Yeah.
Right? That's the Maradona show.
Yeah.
When he beats AC Milan over years in the league, in the greatest league at that time, it is with exactly this kind of football.
Yeah. So
Right?
talk to me
That's
about
not Messi. That's not Ronaldo.
yeah.
So when you say these are the greatest players in the world, they are maybe the greatest goal scorers in the world. They are possibly the best ball controllers that you've seen, but I do not think Messi controls the ball anywhere near like Maradona used to. I've seen Maradona control it. I think Ronaldinho was really close, man. Ronaldinho was like a gorgeous footballer.
So
But
tell me,
Ronaldinho could never execute that level of pressure and that level of ability.
yeah.
But to that end, I will say Argentina now, they've got it. They know, like last night, that second half, it felt like they got it. They understood it. They understood.
Yeah, I think you often need players like that, and I get the sense with this World Cup and Mbappe. Like Mbappe ran the show yesterday. He ran the show for the most part against Australia as well.
Chamo, you can't say he ran the show.
So one second, Nikhil. I want to bring in Jared as well. So Jared, I want to get your opinions on Brazil, because watching Brazil, I got a very similar feeling to what I got watching France, in the sense that very good midfield, very good defense, elite wingers. Like I personally think Vinny Juniors is one of the top 3 wingers in the world right now, and elite wingers. Again, physical, extremely fast, just freak athlete wingers, like the way France has. And Brazil have them as well in abundance. They have Vini and fucking Rafinha. And then when the team is tired in the 70th minute and you're looking for a goal or you're looking to hang on, you can bring in Anthony and bloody Martinelli, which is insane. And Rodrigo, insane. Like the depth they have on the wings is fucking wild. So tell me, what do you feel about this? I think the Brazilian team did in the first match, and what do you think about this team?
Yeah, no, I think Brazil, even though it was only 2-0 win that they had, they looked very, very impressive. And the thing, like you mentioned, Sham, is that so they maybe one position where they don't have depth at right back. However, though,
the wing back positions, right?
The wing backs, left back, right back. But everything else is just so solid. And whenever they lose the ball, they swarm and put pressure on whoever the ball carrier is and shut down the passing lanes really, really well. And I'm excited to see how they finish up this group. But
I was surprised. Okay. I dislike Richarlison very much. I think he's a weird fucking little player, and he's a kind of a little shit. And he sucks for Tottenham, so I don't really mind him too much because he sucks for Tottenham. But he's so good for the national team. I don't know how you can be so average for your club team, but so good for your national team. It's weird.
Well, because he, like at the club, right? So with Tottenham, for example,
and he's also behind Kane in a way, so I guess
exactly. That's not his natural position, because if you watched him at Everton, right, when he would be playing like a false 9 position, he would actually do quite well with that, where he wasn't necessarily the focal point of scoring goals. He would be the bouncer pass, like where the ball would be played into him, he could lay it off for someone else to take the glory, or be able to run back around and get that second touch in. So at Tottenham, he can't really do that because the play just goes straight through Harry Kane. But when you have players like Neymar, Vinny, Rodrigo, Anthony, where they can just be able to do whatever they want with the ball, run it down the field, be able to pass it in very quickly to him. He's going to be wide open on so many occasions just because all that pressure is going to.
He gets so much service, much good service. You're getting service from Neymar, from Vini, from the other wing. What do you think about this Brazilian team, Nikhil? And how do you feel about Neymar missing the rest of the group games?
It doesn't matter. Brazil first half, very negative first half. Every single fan would have thought that
Hey,
first
Nikhil,
half.
I thought they were better than Argentina. Argentina, if you were to give me the
That
choice
I buy.
between
That I buy.
waterboarding and
That I
watching
buy. No,
Argentina, I
I'm
would
getting to that.
choose
I'm getting to that.
waterboarding.
I'm getting
Okay.
exactly to that. I'm getting exactly to that. There's a circulation of balls thing that
Shit,
these
Croatia
South
scored.
American teams have
Yeah.
that the European teams don't have. They circulate the ball. They look, they examine. They don't actually attack in that first half. They look at tournament football like it is a 1 goal, 2 goal game,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Whereas maybe European footballs look at it as we can only do this with domination.
Mm.
And so I think Brazil, that first half was the same concept. They sort of looked for this. Once they started playing football, that second half was gorgeous. It was
Yeah.
absolutely. By the way, Casemiro in that
Oh,
midfield is
phenomenal.
There are some passes that are just. You look at those passes by Casemiro and you think
Yeah.
that is stunning, right? That is stunning football. I think these. What I'm trying to get at right now is I think the European teams are doing all right, whatever they may be. But
Yeah.
these two South American teams, with Argentina having a point of jeopardy, massive point of jeopardy. So
Yeah.
that's the caveat. But I think the South American teams really know what they're up to. They want to play tournament football. They really want to play tournament football. Their
Yeah.
second half teams, mate. They look for whether it was Brazil or it was Argentina. If the first half opened up, they would have taken that half. But it didn't. They had good, strong teams against them.
Yeah. And so that brings me to another team that, obviously I wanted to do well because.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Go ahead. Jared and I will hold the fort. In the meantime, let's talk about Germany, because I feel like after France and Brazil, I tend to support Germany the most because of Schweinsteiger and Klose. I used to love playing for the German team. Talk to me about what went wrong, in your opinion, with Germany in the first game, and what you're expecting from what you were expecting from Germany. What went wrong in the first game, and what do you expect from Germany in the Spain game?
Yeah, so I would say overall in that first game,
Yeah,
they in the first half, especially too, they were very unlucky to be able to not come away with a goal early on.
dude, they should have scored like four
yes.
minimum.
Yes, they were controlling that game all through the left-hand side of the field. You had Rahm and Schlotterbeck moving up the field, doing really, really well to shut down any sort of.
Schlotterbeck's a tidy little player, isn't he? I like him.
He's pretty good.
I like defenders who can pass, like midfielders.
Yep. Yeah, he kind of gives me like Rafael Varane vibes, where
really?
where he is proficient with the ball, not the best, but he does like to progress up the field a little bit. Way better than Captain Germany and Nicholas Süle.
Oh my God, we'll come to him. Go ahead, we'll come to him.
Oh man, that was something else. So why Hansi Flick decided to play him at right back, I have no idea.
Oh and my God, the slowest, most lumbering player in the team plays at right back.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I get what he was trying to do in the first half, where he was trying to overload the left side of the field, sending Rahm up to be that left back winger to be able to pass balls in, and then play essentially with a back three. But it just, I think after they felt very comfortable after the first half they should have had several chances. Once they did get their goal, I think they kind of just took their foot off the brake a little bit and, decided to slow things down and
playing with their food, so to say.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So it was really
right. That's exactly what it was. They're like, we'll score the second goal. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We'll get the second goal. Yeah, no big deal. And it just
Japanese.
In Japan, I have to give it to them. They always play a beautiful game, very technical. They always have a good surprise or two in the tournaments that they play. So
you think the setup was right? Like the German setup, were you happy with the starting 11 and the setup, the formation and everything, Jared?
The formation, yes. I like the 4-2-3-1 because that's a tried and true formation, especially too with Hansi Flick. That's what he ran with the Bayern team that he won the treble with, as well as back when he was the assistant coach under Yogi Löw. They did the same thing. However, though, I really, really detest the fact that he had Niklas Süle in right back. That
Captain
should
Deutschland.
never happen.
How can you not play Captain Deutschland?
Yeah.
For Merkel.
Oh my God.
For EU.
It was terrible to watch. Absolutely.
Oh my
terrible.
God, he's so slow. Why would you play him
slow.
at right back? He's so slow. My
He's
God.
a central defender.
He's a central defender. Stop.
It was terrible.
Also, what do you think about Havertz at center forward?
He services the position. That's one position where Germany doesn't really have anyone. Now that Timo Werner is
Germany
sitting
doesn't
on his
have
couch.
a top level striker. That's crazy. They've always had good strikers.
Always between Klose, Podolski, Gerd Muller.
Gomez, even Mario Gomez was.
Mario
Gomez. Good striker.
They used to have the guy who was shit at club football, but
just elite
striker. They always had that one.
Yeah. So I mean, Kai Havertz serves the position. I don't think he's going to have a good tournament. I don't think that he's going to really contribute to much. But as far as like building out the formation, what I would love to see for today, because I've been looking around on Twitter and whatnot to see, what some people's proposed formations and, players in different positions and kind of tactics as well, is because let's be honest, Germany can be able to control the midfield, but not like Spain can. Spain
have a good midfield though. Kimmich, Gundogan, and who's the third guy?
Muller plays.
It's a good midfield, man. Yeah.
It is, but
what did I say about Musiala? Best player on the pitch, right?
I
thought he was the best player on the pitch.
They're a ball mover midfield with no one to move the ball
to. Yeah. Havertz is basically like playing Harry Maguire as a center forward.
Spain can play Hogwarts within themselves if they want to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, no, how I would have it, though, because the way that they're going to break this Spain team down would be if they could be able to have a center mid duo of Kimmich and Goretzka. Right. Because Goretzka is going to play, both of them are going to play that heavy, deep-lying CDM that can be able to break down those forward-going passes and then be able to break on the counter. Right. However, I just don't think that if we play a Gundogan or a, whoever you want to throw in there at, or Musiala at first, I think we need to save Musiala for like later on in the match. He could be the super sub like in the 70th minute, but if we could be able to play those two and then, correctly put Süle at center back.
Sakes, Croatia scored again.
And then,
anyway.
The old men of Croatia.
Oh my God.
So if we could get, I don't know why Tilo Kehrer didn't play at right back. He should have. So if he can be able to get in there, I like that defensive setup then. And instead maybe have Rudiger.
Why didn't he play Kehrer at right back? Doesn't he play right back for West Ham?
I think so. I think West Ham, yeah. But so I think Hansi Flick was, playing a risky game, playing with that back three effectively in the first game. I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that's going to be the case against Spain. He's going to go back to his tried and true method. Because there's a lot of pressure in this game. Because if they lose,
they're out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure in this. So I think he's going to go back to, the ways of the Bayern team where, Kimmich and Goretzka pretty much ran that midfield, have Muller, try to find space wherever he can, and then essentially just send Leroy and
So are you thinking
Serge.
like possession versus possession or possession versus transition? Like Germany plays more transition based.
Yes, it'll be more transition based for sure.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be possession.
What do you think?
Just because Spain is just too good with possession.
Do you think it's possession versus transition, or you're gonna do two tiki-taka teams?
If you think it is transition, who's your runner?
Well, Zane and Gnabry, essentially.
So your wide
Zane, Gnabry, and Musiala.
No. You don't get that many runners in a game in which the other team was possession, buddy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you take. So see, the thing is, Spain needs to control the ball for large periods of time and then find those openings, death by a
Spain
thousand cuts
doesn't need to do
style,
a
right?
thing though in this game. That's a part of tournament football concept,
Hmm.
right? Spain doesn't need to do a thing.
Yeah.
Spain needs to play their football.
Yeah.
You need to come.
Yeah. But I don't think
Spain
Luis
should
Enrique
play,
will coach his
Spain
team
should
to
play
sit back.
their style,
Yeah.
and they have this style within themselves, which they played in World Cups past of the most dull 0-0 in history. They played this. They played this in the past. I'm not kidding with you.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding with you.
Yeah.
They could be the best team in the world, and they could just do the whole. We will not take a fucking risk.
Yeah.
We'll keep passing the ball around. We'll keep passing
Yeah.
the ball around. Keep passing the ball around.
Yeah, what I think what they might try to do potentially is, try to get the ball off Spain in like a high position,
No, you're talking
higher
about
up the
Goretzka.
pitch.
You're talking about Goretzka. You're talking about I mean, honestly, boys, we're talking about Pedri, Gavi, people like Koke,
Yeah.
people like Busquets, and you're talking about Goretzka, and it's crude. It's
I think
crafty.
Gundogan and Kimmich
It
are
really
extremely,
feels like
extremely
it feels like
good
a
midfielders.
bad Susami knife against like a proper.
No,
second.
I think
Okay.
Gundogan is a great player. I think Gundogan is a great player.
let-
You don't
let-
miss,
No,
you don't win the
Gundogan,
title four times with City if you're a bad
Gundogan,
player.
I will
Yeah.
agree. But you refuse to fit Gundogan. You refuse
Well,
to
Gundogan's
fit
in the squad, right? He's
Yeah,
in the
he
starting
played-
11.
he-
No, but you refuse to fit Gundogan in your conception of how they will play. That's why I waited for this. Right?
Yes.
So if you play Gundogan at your base, right, then we've got a different kind of game, because I think Gundogan is actually a spectacular footballer. Like, he's a proper Guardiola footballer.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful ball player. But he's going to have everything on him, because the way Spain do spacing right now, right? The way Spain do spacing right now, you cannot tell an 8 from a 10, from a 6, from a 8. It's the way they're moving around that pitch. That 7-0
Because
didn't
that
happen.
midfield interchanges a lot.
That 7-0 didn't happen with Costa Rica shit, because the level of movement is insane. If they represent that movement, then I don't think Germany have a chance. Like they have a chance, which is the direct ball.
Yeah.
And they will always have the direct ball. It doesn't
See,
matter
again, direct ball over the top behind Alba or behind
Doesn't matter
Azpilicueta.
who it is behind it. Doesn't matter. It could even be
That's
Gundogan behind.
Yeah.
It could even be Gundogan striking the ball at the end.
Yeah.
For all we know.
Yeah.
Right?
Go ahead, Jared.
So let me
These
defend
are
my
odds.
position with
These are odds. In my opinion, Spain is going to run this game, and
They
it's going to
will.
run it into the ground.
yeah.
You go ahead,
Well,
Jared.
they're going to have possession the whole entire time, pretty much, and we're going to have to choose our battles very closely. But that's exactly why, if we, in my opinion, if we want to be able to negate Spain in the final third, I don't think Gundogan can do that, because Gundogan is a fantastic maestro with the ball, and he can be able to pick out passes, just short of Kevin De Bruyne, like all over the pitch, and he can find space as well. But I don't think we're going to have that. We're not going to have that chance, because we're going to have to sit back, soak up a lot of pressure. And if there's one player in the world besides maybe Rodri that's a young, good, destroyer of a CDM, that's Leon Goretzka. And if you can be able to soak up that pressure and be able to, kind of get Spain with Pedri and Gavi, kind of double, triple thinking like where they want to be able to put those balls in the second half, that's then when you can be able to bring in like a Musiala or bring in like a Gundogan, where then the space opens up a little bit more. But I think for the starting 45, the first half, I think, like you said, Nikhil, Spain's going to run the show. They're going to have 65, 70% possession, have a couple shots on goal, but we need to break up those passing lanes and, assert a little bit of physicality in the middle. And both Kimmich and Goretzka do that fantastically.
I feel like that's how you fight those tiki-taka teams, right? Physicality and intensity. That's how you fight them. You can push them. You do what Klopp does to City, basically. You do what Klopp does to City.
I don't think it's going to happen in Spain. I think it's a whipping. I think this is a bad whipping. I think Germany.
I can see that too. I can see that too.
I'll call
it'll
this.
just be
it's two of the top managers, in my opinion, in the World Cup against each other. So it'll be interesting, at least.
It's a bit of a harsh call, because I think Scaloni, the way he played Argentina last night, is a big call. It's the way Brazil have played. That's a big call. It's a very Eurocentric thing. Our idea of dominance, idea of how football is
No, I
played.
think Brazil. Listen, Brazil was a lot better than Argentina. Argentina was like,
they may have been. They may have been. They may have been. They may have been. The crassness is the same. They look for space. They don't play a half. They literally don't play a half. They play that half to find space. It's educational, that half. The second half is where they play. Right? So this is a very different thing. In World Cups, you will forget me telling you this. If you go into Google, you will find this history. The Latin Americans don't play the first half at oftentimes. They look for the second half. Right? So it's a very common theme. It's a very common theme. What I saw of Argentina in the first 20 minutes of the second half last night against a very strongly pressing Mexico, you don't. They are a very poor midfield in the sense of creativity. But when you put Enzo Fernandez,
what does Rodrigo de Paul do on the football pitch? I'm not entirely sure. How is he employed?
De Paul, I saw him on the ball 100 times.
That guy employed? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But speaking of sweaty players, I want to talk about, before we move on to like what might happen with the rest of the rounds. I want to talk about in my opinion, three of the sweatiest teams in this tournament. Jared,
one thing, because one of the sweaty wins that you're gonna probably bring up also then plays back to you, Nikhil. If Argentina looked so good against Mexico, what the hell happened against Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
So Messi gave an interview that blew my mind, bro. It blew my mind. Do you know what he said? He said, we had goals disallowed, and our mind went to the idea that goals will always be disallowed in this World Cup. Like, it blew my mind. Like, literally, it was like we sped up. We started playing football. It was crazy. We didn't intend to play. We just sped up. We started playing crazy football because we thought it'll never be called.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's a very bad thing. That's a very bad thing.
Yeah.
Look, I personally think
but in that, I don't want to be heard to say Saudi was superb. They're pressing. They should have beaten Poland
very physical
hands down. Like, they should have smashed Poland.
So this is where I come to the sweaty teams now.
By the way,
I think
sweaty teams. Can I add one more?
So let me
Ecuador should have taken Holland and fucking.
So that's what I'm saying. So let me list out the sweaty teams, and then if you guys want to add the sweaty teams, let me know. So I thought Argentina is sweaty. I know Nikhil disagrees, but I thought Argentina is sweaty as fuck. Number 2, I thought Netherlands is a super sweaty team this year. My goodness. How do they have 4 points? I will never understand. How does that team have 4 points? I will never understand. It's such a sweaty team. My God. And I remember, and I wanted to ask this question to Jared because he was extremely bullish on this Netherlands team that, oh my God, look at the players they have. Such flowing football. Total football, man.
Yeah, total football.
Football.
Yeah.
And this is turning out to be one of the sweatiest teams in the tournament that just are hanging on by a thread in every single game and somehow sweat past a 1-0 win or a 1-1 draw.
Yeah. And I mean, leading up to the World Cup, they did look like they were, playing that old school total football. Louis van Gaal, saying, we can do this. We are, playing beautiful, like all over the pitch.
Yeah.
And when you start to look at some of these games, like between the 1-1 draw against Ecuador and then, their 2-0 win against Senegal, which that was just literally a smash and grab. It's just,
it was a rough watch.
This team has an identity from years in the making of that. They like to portray that they can be able to keep up with the likes of Spain or Argentina playing this, very pass-centric, beautiful type of game.
Yeah.
But deep down in their core, they just can't get rid of it, of just playing these just sweaty long balls to Memphis Depay, to Klaassen, to whoever it is, and just hope something happes. And we saw this,
Another thing I want to ask you, what does Davy Klaassen do, really? What does he do? What is he? Why is he a player? Why is Davy Klaassen?
Your guess is as good as mine. Question. I mean, I don't know who he knows, but he must have some
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like Ferran Torres keeps getting picked because he's dating the boss's daughter, essentially.
Yeah.
So,
that's so funny. That is such a funny
Maybe
dynamic.
Klaassen probably has some nude pictures of like Louis van Gaal or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Louis van Gaal won't give a fuck about nude pictures, bro. Louis van Gaal has far too cool for that.
He's beyond that now.
No. You need to have Louis van Gaal fucking a Martian. Nothing but that will fuck Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal is too cool.
Yeah,
Louis van Gaal is the best thing about the fucking team. The rest of it is that.
Yeah. So why do you think they're so sweaty, Jared?
Yeah, no, I just think that like deep down they have this identity, and they have for years. Like ever since that golden generation of the Netherlands, ended up retiring with Van Persie, Robin, Wesley Sneijder.
Yeah,
they tried. I know that was a dirt nasty team in 2010. But ever since they, retired, moved on, there's been a push to bring in these younger players like in Frankie de Jong, Donny van de Beek, Matthias de Ligt, and they're very good players.
And de Jong is nowhere near the problem for this team either.
No. But the thing is,
de Jong is the best thing in this team.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he is. But the problem is that they don't have enough of that talent. Like when you start to look at some of these other. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because like, for example, like, you start to throw out some of these names of like Daley Blind, who's, a little past his prime, still a good footballer, but past his prime. You got Steven Bergwijn, Cody Gakpo, which arguably he's actually had a pretty good tournament, I would say.
Yeah.
But then you start going down their bench and you're just like, Luke de Jong, like he's supposed to come on and make the world a difference.
Yeah,
change the game.
In the idea.
Well, they've got Weghorst, right?
He should have died by now.
Burnley legend.
Yeah, Burnley legend. Yeah, so I mean,
the Weghorst change is a very intended change. So I will not knock the Weghorst change, but I will tell you this: these boys, when I saw them play Ecuador for a while, right? Like, so they scored that first goal really quickly. That came out of a mess, and that mess that fell to Gakpo's left foot, and what a strike! Like, like this is genius. Like, this is the kind of thing that wins a match, right? And you think that's it, and then they got killed.
Yeah, Ecuador should have won that game 3-1.
Or more, right?
Yeah.
Like it was insane how much better Ecuador were.
Yeah.
Told you boys on day one, Ecuador will qualify from this group.
I believe
that's the thing, man. I keep saying about physicality and intensity. If you're physical, you're intense, you always have a shot.
No technicality. They are technical.
They're technical, but that's the thing. They just outran and outmuscled
has
them.
A midfield that honestly, Ecuador today, this is the distribution of the wealth of football over the course of year. And FIFA can be very proud about this.
Yeah.
Ecuador has a better midfield than Holland.
I'd agree with that.
They do.
Overall.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because if you go player to player, like I don't think
choices, Ecuador has a better midfield than Holland.
Yeah, I agree.
Holland, they have more know-how how to win a match, how to prevent a loss, because LBG is a genius unto himself. Don't underrate this guy. I'm telling you, don't underrate this guy. This guy took a very that Van Persie dive and those first five goals against Brazil in
Spain.
that first match, they covered over a lot of fucking non-performance from Holland. After that, they got to the semifinals doing shit.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Yeah, that 2014 fourth place match with the Netherlands against Brazil. I mean, that was the pinnacle. And ever since then, they've somehow gotten to semifinals, done decent in tournaments, but it's not good. It's
The
No,
other sweaty.
They don't have a midfielder. If you say they are total football, they should have a midfielder. FDJ is not that midfielder. FDJ is the runner. You need.
Well, he's like. I feel like
need
he's
a center. You need a guy who FDJ plays with.
Yeah, exactly. You need a Gavi. You need a guy who Busquets and Pedri to a Gavi.
Gavi Pedri. That's it.
Which okay. in FDJ's defense here, like his days back at Ajax, that was a glimmering hope that he would be able to play like that for the Dutch national team. But I think since then,
that's right.
But ever since then, because when he was at Ajax too, like I said, like he was playing with a lot of Dutch national players, including one of his really good friends in Frankie de Jong. Why am I blanking on his name? Donny van de Beek. And so, I think since that team, all three of those major talents on that team have gone through whether it's Frankie de Jong at Barcelona, he's lost his identity completely playing for them. He doesn't know. He doesn't look anywhere the player that he was at.
In which case, we can all turn around and ask Louis van Gaal, I'm sorry, you do not have three prominent, perfectly fitted Dutch midfielders across the leagues. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have players that play together, then you might as well play the best set that fit together.
Well, what happened to Jared? What happened to this guy, man? The guy at United, the
Donny
Dutch
van de Beek.
midfielder. What's in?
Yeah,
what happened to that guy?
That's an ordinary player.
What happened to him?
That's an ordinary player.
No, he was really good at Ajax, wasn't he?
No, he's a
really
runner.
Good at Ajax?
He's a runner.
People were talking about, Frankie de Jong, Donny van de Beek. Frankie de Jong, Donny van de Beek. And he just disappeared.
That's madness.
I mean, but even when Frankie left and Donny was still with the team for another year, I mean, he still played fantastically there at Ajax. It's just,
System.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jared.
But yeah, it is a system. But I mean, when you play along with a lot of Dutch national players, you have to know that like builds a sense of chemistry.
The defenders are suddenly English and they will fuck your feet.
Yeah, exactly. So I think,
they're going to be so fast. They're going to be so fast. They're not that fast in the Dutch league.
Yeah. So between, Donny getting traded to Manchester United.
I will tell you this.
One second, Nikhil. 1 second. Go ahead, Jared. Finish your point.
Oh, yeah. No, so with Donny getting traded to Manchester United, FDJ going to Barcelona, and then even Matthias de Ligt when he was at Juventus, all three of them lost their identities. Like they lost, what made them good.
But Matthias de Ligt is still a identity question. I think FDJ is a genius player. I think he's a footballer. Oh my God, Jared! When I see this boy run with the ball, he runs with the ball from the back. He doesn't do it from here. He runs with it from the deepest position the ball can be at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he reminds me a lot of remember Santi Cazorla?
Second attacker. He will beat the first midfielder. He will beat the second midfielder, and he will be running, and he will accelerate the game that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You remember Jared Santi Cazorla?
No,
he's a concept.
Yeah. So the second sweaty team.
I totally get. Like for me, as a United fan, I gained so much respect, so much more. Like not I always had it because of what I've seen over the season. Yeah. So much more respect for Ten Hag in what I saw in two people, Rabiot and FDJ. FDJ, when he runs with the ball, bro, this is it.
Yeah.
The game is done. Like he literally runs you from where Casemiro will be to where Martial will be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Jared, the second...
And you cannot stop him. You cannot fucking stop this boy.
Yeah. So, Jared, the second sweaty team that I wanted to talk about is England. Because they did really well in the first game. Obviously, game was open. I feel like the injury to their goalkeeper sort of threw the Iranian team out of balance a little bit. Mm-hmm. And that's when the goals started going in. But the game against the United States, they got dominated. Completely and utterly dominated over 90 minutes. I don't even think... One second, Nikhil. One second. Hold on. So I think they got completely dominated.
Yeah, no, I want to...
Even the XG battle, even I'll come to you, Nikhil, in a second. But...
0.93, 0.48.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they got... I think They got outmatched in the midfield. I think they got outmatched in attack. I think they got outmatched in defense. I think the big chances that England did get were maybe a little bit on the transition and a little bit through the set pieces. So for a team, Jared, that is so stacked, I think the English team is pretty stacked. So that is a team that is so stacked. Like, what is going wrong with them? I think I have an answer, but I want to ask you first, and then I want to come to Nikhil.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting because,
Can I
like
very
you said,
quickly ask Jared one question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why the fuck did you bitch about the American team? I told you they're great.
Just you wait. Just you wait. They have to play against them.
They were superb. Superb. They should have smashed England to pieces.
Okay, one second. Go ahead, Jared.
But so that's a should have, but they didn't, because they can compete, but they aren't clutch enough to win. And so that's my whole thing, is that, they have good, talented players that can be able to compete with those teams, but it's just getting over the finish line of just whether it's, creating a couple more chances, putting the ball in the back of the net. It is a very young team. And I do think, in 2026, especially with the World Cup going to be here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, I think the U.S. team is going to do really well. I think they'll make it into the out of the group stages, possibly into the quarters. We'll see. But, I just think at this tournament with these teams that they had to go up against, I didn't see that they could be able to do it. And I think that, one, they got really fortunate, even though they did dominate the game against Wales.
I think they got lucky in the second half,
Yeah, they got very lucky towards in the second half. The Wales really changed their lineup to be able to, actually take the ball into the final third of the United States and cause a lot of issues. But against England, though, they did prove their worth. They did play an outstanding game of bringing the pressure to England and slowly breaking them down with some really, really key passes into Christian Pulisic, which he's actually having a great tournament right now.
Dude, how good was Musa and McKennie, though? They're pretty good.
Yeah. Musa, I think, is playing really, really well. McKennie, it's touch and go. I think he has some brilliant moments, but that quad injury of his, I worry for him, especially going up against an Iran team that now has momentum going into this last fixture. And, who's to say that they don't just absolutely relish this moment that they could possibly beat the United States and kick them out of the World Cup?
What a story that will be.
So I think, so going back, Sham, to your original question, though, about England is a very, very stacked team, but also too, when we were talking earlier about managers and how the team is set up and everything, I just think that, and this is, you could be able to see this in English media as well. They just don't like Gareth Southgate because, if he lets the player, gives them a general tactic of how to set up and just lets them play, I think that they could be a very dangerous team. But once he starts meddling in there, trying to tell them, hey, we need to play compact, we need to play defensive, beat them on the break, that's when I think things start to fall apart, because this team, you could just tell, they just looked out of sorts and they didn't know what they were doing. Whereas in against Iran, it was very fluid. They could pretty much do whatever they wanted with the ball. But that also then proves, as a team, if they're under pressure, they just fold. They can't.
And it is I think somebody, SK Pratap on the live chat, Nikhil, made a good point about sweaty football winning tournaments. I do tend to agree with that to an extent, because Southgate plays some sweaty football, really sweaty as fuck football, but his team went to the semi-final in 2018 and the final in Euro 2020. So, for all the sweatiness that he has, unleashed upon the English national team, they still go far and go deep into the tournaments.
Good luck to you. You're not going to win matches like this.
Yeah. No, it's going to be real tough for them, especially too with them making it out of the group.
When I was describing the earlier bit, how Latin American teams play, right? They play tournament football like cats, literally, this is when we're gonna attack, right? because they've won this often now.
Yeah.
You're English. You're like a big fat bellied fucking barmonger. You haven't won fuck. You should just sit back and watch. They're not gonna. Bro, I tell you what, you could put Foden in this team against the US on that day with 20-25 minutes to play. They were not better than the US. They were not.
No, they weren't.
No.
The US was infinitely better.
Yeah.
Because Tyler Adams was exceptional.
Yeah, he was great.
Really exceptional.
Yeah.
Right?
He's been playing very well in this tournament.
Yeah.
Really
He's been good for Leeds too.
He took that midfield and he really, like, you could see when Tyler Adams got the ball, when the boys around him got the ball, they ran.
Yeah, that midfield three was great.
Back.
Yeah.
Right? And they created chances and they should have had goals. I mean, it's not about the Pulisic.
That chance McKennie missed, man. Oh my God.
Yeah. A sitter. It's a sitter. It's right there. It's right there.
It's right there.
You don't do the slice, you do the through ball.
Yep.
You do the through it.
Just touch it. You don't need to smash it. Just touch it.
Yeah. Whatever. We may pretend that way, but these are professional footballers.
Yeah.
They were the better team.
Ultimately,
They were the better
we're here
team
and
in
they're
the
there.
first match. They were the better team in the first match. I have no odds why they won't be the better team in the next match.
I hope so. I hope they do.
I honestly, look. They have energy. They have power. They play the quality of the first touch from when they get possession. I'm telling you, the US is not ordinary, bro.
Yeah.
Like when they get possession, they are perfectly in possession of the ball with body and eye in shape. That's a huge thing.
So now I want to come to
body, right. Like, so you get the ball and you know where you're going to go and you know where you're going to defend.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So now I want to come to the possibly Jared, the sweatiest team in the entire tournament, and that is the Farmers of Poland, where the coach was just driving around the backcountry in Poland in his little truck. He saw a farmer farming in the farm and he said, "Hey, you want to go play in the World Cup? Come, jump in the back. Hey, you want to go play in the World Cup? Jump in the back." He's basically just picking up farmers and maintenance workers and shopkeepers.
They will win.
Just said, "Hey, you want to play in the World Cup? We have one player called Lewandowski, but we need 10 more players to basically put a team around him." So anyone can apply.
Chesney's not too bad in goal. Like Wojciech Szczesny is
Chesney's good. That double save was insane.
Yeah. So,
but that is, in my opinion, far and away the sweatiest team in the World Cup.
Yeah, because they are one-dimensional.
That if they'd beaten Mexico.
Yeah, but even that Mexico game was so sweaty. My God. My goodness.
But you can sweat all you want.
And it took Guillermo Ochoa.
Argentina is
the giga chat of the World Cup.
Take care of all this sweat.
Yeah, Jared, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Mexico was very, very fortunate that Guillermo Ochoa showed up for his his 4-year
his
tournament.
4-year giga chat session.
I thought Poland were quite fortunate at times, bro.
They were.
I do agree. But I mean, that result could have been totally different if Lewandowski made that. But I do agree that Mexico was the far better team against Poland and deserved what they got. So
I have a different question. Now, given the results as they are, how does Poland play against Argentina?
They really have just one way of playing. Is just
bro.
I don't know that they're going to go on the front foot against Argentina.
They don't need to win. They have 3 points.
Yeah,
Argentina.
No, they have 4.
That's right. Mexico don't.
They have 4 points.
Mexico don't. Argentina have 3. Right? If they can stall this to a draw, so it's Poland at 5, Argentina at 4.
They both qualify.
Hang on.
Oh, unless,
Saudi beats Mexico.
Yeah. If Saudi beats Mexico, they go through. So Poland has
Argentina
to not lose.
Go.
Yeah. Poland has to not lose, and Argentina has to win.
This group is not done by any imagination.
Oh, no.
Not because of numbers, because the quality of football. Because Saudis have deserved at least 2 wins in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like they may have got the win they didn't deserve, but they deserve the other win.
Yeah. I think they should also beat Mexico because Mexico is dire. What do you think, Jared?
No.
I don't think Mexico's that bad.
One second. Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah. I don't think Mexico's that bad. I think that, they they have a lot of heart and they put in good shifts. They definitely have an identity and have multiple ways of playing.
Yeah.
But I think that they just haven't. They've gone up against some tough opposition where they have to create a lot of chances, and it's not like on the break where they love to play. Right. So when they have to actually use their creative talent, like sometimes, it goes well for them. Other times they just rely on set pieces and crosses to be able to come in. And that's not how the Mexican team plays. They aren't, that's not part of their DNA of just playing off of set pieces and crosses. So I think they've been a little hard done, but I think that it is a very tasty matchup between them and Saudi because I think because Mexican pride, they want, I guarantee they'll want to be able to come out and prove that they can win a game at the World Cup. Now that it's officially, they're not going through for at all.
They also have Thanos with the reality stone, bloody Guillermo Ochoa.
Yes. Oh, God. Just shows up once every 4 years and just
shows up and just decides, okay, this is my World Cup.
Yeah, this is mine. Memo. Oh my gosh. No, that was an insane save. But so they're not totally out of it because they could still go through if Poland beats Argentina and they beat Saudi Arabia. So I do take that back. So I do think that they have a point to prove, especially with how the results have been going for them in this World Cup, because they've made the last 16, the past 5 World Cups, 6 World Cups or something. So this is a Mexico team that always wants to be able to make it to the knockout stages. And so they will definitely have a point to prove. Granted, they're going to go up against a tough Saudi side that have proven that they are putting everything that they have out there to be able to make it into the round of 16 as well. It does help when you have the king of Saudi Arabia giving you Rolls Royces as a consolation for winning.
Yeah. But winning one game, not even
one game,
qualifying out of the rounds, just one game.
Yes, because that there is tension with Saudi Arabia and Qatar of that. Saudi wants to prove that they are a better footballing nation in Qatar's own World Cup. So they want it real bad to be able to make it into the knockout stages and be able to point to Qatar and be like, haha, little brother, we're the better footballing nation in your own backyard. So I think it's a juicy matchup. I don't think it's going to be as lopsided as some may say, for Saudi Arabia. I think there's a lot of storylines with that match.
So let me end today with this, and I want all three of us to make our picks. So now I'll show you what the tables look like. So let's start with Group A. Group A, we have Netherlands on 4, Ecuador on 4, Senegal on 3, and Qatar eliminated. So I'll start with you, Nikhil. Group A only right now. Who qualifies? Which two teams qualify out of Group A?
I chose Holland and Ecuador first up. I will stick with them.
Stick with them? Yeah. Okay. What about you, Jared?
Yeah, I think I also chose Holland and Ecuador as well.
No, you did not. You asked that.
Well, did you choose Senegal?
No. I thought I did Ecuador because Sadio Mane was out.
Oh, that's right. No, you're right.
Because I said that I was going to do Senegal, but then chose
Mane
not to do
it. Mane went out late.
Yeah. So that was news that morning, if I remember correctly. So I chose differently. But I do agree that with this final matchup of Senegal and Ecuador, that's going to be a tough match. But I do think that Ecuador is going to pull that one out. So it'll be Netherlands, Ecuador.
I think it depends on if their striker Ener Valencia that scored basically all of their goals this tournament, he got stretchered off in that last game, right? Yeah. He got stretchered off in that last game. So I don't know if he's going to be available for the Ecuador-Senegal game. But I think I can still go with Netherlands and Ecuador.
It's an excellent system. It's an excellent team. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Group B, England, Iran, USA, Wales. This is the spicy pick.
Yeah.
Who's the spice going to, Jared? Who's your spicy picks?
So obviously my Wales prediction at the beginning.
Hang on. Who plays who next? Who plays whom next?
So England, Wales, Iran, USA.
Right, but we don't have a second game yet, or do we have a second game already?
No, second game's done. So England won against Iran and drew against the US.
So England have 4.
Yeah, England on 4, Iran on 3, US on 2, Wales on 1. So Jared, who qualifies out of the Group B?
So who plays the last game against each other?
So England, Wales, Iran, USA.
I think England and Wales comes first, and then it's USA Iran, because I think the USA match will probably be in the afternoon time here in the States. So I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to go. So obviously my Wales pick at the beginning of the tournament didn't quite pan out how I thought it would. Gareth Bale only showed up for 1 PK, which was beautiful. So I do have to say that was quite nice. So that is off the table. But England is definitely going to go through. They're going to have their way with Wales, I think, or it could just be a 0-0 draw.
Just be a draw,
Doesn't matter. I think that they're going to go through. I still am not convinced by this USA squad, so I'm going to go with Iran.
Iran? Woo! Look at that. It's a good pick. Iran look good. They look really good against Wales, so you never know. You never know. What do you think, Nikhil?
England, US. I said at the start, I'll stick with it.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to support the US in this one because I thought they did so well against England, so I'll go with England, US, even though I think Iran's got a good shout.
Yeah, I'm going to support the United States in this match, but I just have some sneaky suspicion that some hoodnickery is going to happen.
I think Iran are they are playing some football now.
Yeah,
they're playing some serious football, but I think the US are exceptional. I think the system is exceptional. I think the US
I hope so. Yeah. Group C, Poland on 4, Argentina on 3, Saudi Arabia on 3, Mexico on 1. Who goes through?
Mate, this is the group from which the champion comes. Argentina
you
winning
think so?
Or Poland.
No. I saw them play with the whole idea of. So, I want to actually talk about this for a second. If I have 2 minutes.
Sure, go ahead.
So I saw the first half and I was really disappointed. I was really worried about the coherency of Argentinian passing ball, right? But they had about 60-65% possession, and it was essentially they were looking for spaces.
Yeah.
There was nothing good about their football. They had no shots on target, 1 shot overall, nothing good about their football. Second half, 20 minutes, they just crushed Mexico.
Well, I think after the goal, the game opened up a lot.
But here's the key. How do they score the goal? Messi arrives at a point where the ball arrives to him where every defender is around 10 meters away from him. Imagine a match you go into where your singular task is to defend Messi, and Messi at a place where he is 10 meters away from every defender. Right?
Yeah.
You've got to feel like a cunt. Like total cunt.
That was an oh shit moment. As soon as you see Messi,
he got the ball like right outside the D with yards in space.
From that. But they measured it. The bastards measured it.
Okay, so now prediction time. Poland, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico.
I will take Argentina. First, they will win their next match against Poland.
Okay.
Right? And they will win it handily, in my opinion. So it comes down to Mexico versus who's the other one?
Saudi Arabia.
I will take Saudi Arabia.
So Saudi Arabia and Argentina?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's actually not a bad pick at all. That's not a bad pick at all. I would not be surprised if Saudi beats Mexico. I would not be surprised. They've looked really good this tournament.
This is spicy.
This is a tough one because Poland is so sweaty. I don't put it again.
No,
I don't put it out of the realms of possibility that they'll sweat a draw against
I
Argentina.
gave you the explanation on the sweaty. Like Argentina will take the sweat.
No, I understand. But what I'm saying is, Jared, that like I wouldn't put it past Poland to do a 1-1 sweaty draw or a 0-0 sweaty draw with Argentina and both go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But also too, if Saudi Arabia gets the win, that kicks Argentina out. So that's the thing is like Argentina needs this win to secure that.
They absolutely need to win. There is no question. Argentina need to win 6 matches. They're not thinking 1 match; they're thinking 6 matches.
Yeah. Saudi needs to win by a big margin. If Argentina win, then Saudi needs to win 2-0, 3-0, something like that.
Argentina did not play the last match thinking 1 match.
So I would say out of that group, Sham, for me, I'm going to agree with Nikhil. I think I'm going to go Argentina, Saudi Arabia.
Spicy.
I think the Saudi Arabia Mexico match is going to be a really good match because both teams will see a way forward in this. Depending obviously what happens with Poland, Argentina. So they're gonna give it as much gas as they possibly can.
Bro,
so I think that's going to be a good.
Saudi press, the level of I didn't think this existed. The Saudi press is insane, bro.
No, I know.
Okay,
they're playing very well.
Press.
Okay, let's wrap this up quickly. Group D: France on 6, Australia on 3, Denmark on 1, Tunisia on 1.
And so France
Nikhil,
plays,
you go first.
Yeah, France plays Tunisia and Australia plays Denmark last.
I will take France, obviously.
They've already qualified, So one team, I guess.
Denmark over Australia. Knockout game.
Denmark over Australia?
Denmark over Australia.
Okay.
I don't like Denmark right now, but I think they will wake up.
I agree. I'll go Denmark. I'll go France and Denmark.
Obviously. France and Denmark. I'll pick Denmark as well. Let's go Group E: Spain on 3, Japan on 3, Costa Rica on 3, Germany on 0.
I think all of
Jared,
us go
your heartbreaking picks
and find a
fucking
fucking chart on which we replace these teams and just pick. Right? No, Spain is going through one. Right? Everybody else, good luck to them.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Because, I mean, even if Spain doesn't get the result today, everyone will be sitting at 3 points in this table. But then Spain then goes up against Japan. And I just think that...
Let me go a step further. Spain will fucking pistol whip Germany.
I'm saying if. I'm saying the big hyperbole of
Not your if. I'm saying I'm contributing to it.
Okay, so make your picks. Spain, Japan, Costa Rica, Germany.
Germany out. Other than that, I can't tell.
Okay, Jared, make your pick.
I'm gonna go Spain number 1, and then I still have to have a little faith in my boys. So I'm gonna go Germany. Gonna squeak it out, possibly maybe by goal difference.
Maybe by goal difference, Spain and Germany.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, Spain number 1 by far. I think that they're going to get anything.
Yeah,
from 6 to 7
I think Spain will beat Japan. I think they'll beat Japan.
9 points. Yeah. So
if Spain beats Japan and then Germany beats Costa Rica, right? Yeah, they have a chance, right? As long as they can get something out of this game.
So today. You're telling me there's a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
So I'm gonna go Spain to top the group. Germany
and then Germany with
a
sweaty second. Okay, Group F: Morocco on 4, Croatia on 4, Belgium on 3, Canada on 0. Canada is losing the current game as well against Croatia. So if Croatia wins this, they'll have 4. Yeah. So basically, as it stands, it's Morocco on 4, Croatia on 4, Belgium 3, Canada 0. Nikhil, who do you think goes through?
I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
Morocco and Croatia go through?
Yeah.
Because Morocco plays Croatia next, right?
Yes, correct. No. Morocco plays Canada next.
Let me just double check here.
Yes, Morocco, Canada, Croatia, Belgium.
It is.
Bro, Belgium are done. Their generation is done.
Dude, their central defense has a combined age of like 500 or something.
Yeah,
I know. It's so bad.
Holy shit, they're so old.
They've been found out. Fuck them.
Yeah,
they're so old. All of them.
I'll go Morocco, Croatia as well, but I think I'll take Croatia at the top of the group. But
I wanted Canada to do well. They're a good team. Oh my God, Croatia just scored 3. Third goal. It's over.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Canada. See you later. Thanks for coming. Come again.
Go back to your winner.
I want Jared's number so that I can tease him tonight.
Nikhil, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Oh no, it got chalked off. VAR chalked it off, I think.
Yeah.
It said 2-0, right?
No, 2-1.
2-1.
That's all right.
They only went above Morocco because of goal difference.
Yeah, I think it got
Yeah.
Oh no, it is. It's 3-1. It's 3-1. Never mind.
It is.
It's 3-1.
Yeah.
It's still 2-1. Did it get chalked off? No, it says it's been chalked off.
It just updated. It just updated again.
Yeah, it just updated again. 3-1. All right. See you, Canada. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks for playing. See you next time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Croatia, Morocco now, at least looking at the score now, I think it's I feel more comfortable in saying Croatia, Morocco.
Next
Group G. Brazil on 3, Switzerland on 3, Cameroon 0, Serbia 0.
Yeah. So this
Brazil.
I'm gonna stay with my original prediction, which was Brazil and Switzerland.
Like a toothpaste ad, right? Like you go out shining.
Yeah. So Jared, my original prediction is Brazil, Switzerland.
Yeah, which is looking good right now.
I will stick with that as well.
Yeah.
I tell you what, let's enjoy ourselves. I'll take Cameroon.
These next two are going to be tricky because we only have one game or one match
so
played.
Yeah.
So it'll obviously at the end of tomorrow we'll have
I'll take
a better
Brazil,
idea.
Cameroon. I'll take Brazil,
Okay.
Cameroon.
Okay. What about you, Jared?
I'll stick with my original pick
Serbia?
with Brazil and Serbia.
Ooh, spicy.
Because Serbia didn't look that bad. They just kind of got a little unlucky.
Yeah. Well, they got spanked, to be honest. They had
they did.
Like the XG did. Yeah. But they did. They were holding out pretty good till like the 60th minute or whatever it was.
Yeah. The heat got to them.
Heat got to them. Group H, Portugal on 3, South Korea 1, Uruguay 1, Ghana 0. My goodness, Uruguay looked bad. But who's your pick out of Group H, Nikhil?
They didn't look good.
They did not look good. They did not look good. I think they'll still qualify out of this group. If you ask me, I think it's going to be Portugal and Uruguay. I think they'll qualify out of this group.
Wait. This is my grand fuck off group. I've got to stick with what I called.
What did you call again?
The grand fuck off.
No. What teams did you pick?
Ghana, right?
Portugal.
Oh, was it Ghana?
Portugal, you ass cunt.
The grand fuck off with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Portugal. Portugal gets eliminated, right?
By the way, in the course of that, I will say this: that bastard bought a penalty, but Bruno produced a proper assist. Like that is
Bruno played well. I think he had a good game.
That was a beautiful ball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. So fuck Portugal. I have to oblige myself and stick by it. Portugal is out, so you can pick any two.
South Korea and Uruguay. Should I pick South Korea and Uruguay for you?
What's the other one?
Ghana.
South Korea.
Which they did not look bad.
They didn't look bad. Yeah, Ghana were good for a while.
3-2 in the end, right?
Yeah.
I'll take Ghana and Uruguay.
Okay. What about you, Jared?
I want to do the grand fuck off as well, but there's so much talent in Portugal, and I just see them somehow, Ronaldo, like getting a hat trick one game, like in 2018 against Spain. Like I just see him like taking over a single game. So I'm still going to pick Portugal, but I think it's Uruguay need to figure some stuff out, but I'll still stick with them.
Yeah.
Sham, can we Can we run a league against each other, like sort of our picks?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We'll work on that.
You got our picks tonight, so let's do it.
Yeah. Did you write down these picks, Sham? Or
I didn't. But I'll watch the podcast back and I'll write them down.
It's in the audio. It's in the audio, bro.
Yeah. I'll watch the podcast back and I'll figure that out. So we'll write that down and we'll figure out the league.
Just my prediction. I think Argentina was scary. Spain was scary. Brazil was scary. And the champion will come from one of these three. There's no one beyond.
Okay.
No one beyond.
All right.
That's fair.
All right. We'll go from there. I gotta go see how Canada's sad faces. Show them a little bit of support while they're still playing. Unfortunately, I wanted Canada to do well. I thought they had a good team, but anyway, what are you gonna do? Such is life. At least we have the United States to support still. Hopefully. But thanks again, guys, for doing this. Our 30 minutes, I think that's a perfect amount of time. Guys, let us know your picks as well out of the groups and stuff in the comment section, in the live chat, in the polls that we've run on the community tab as well. And join us again next week when we'll review the entire group games. I think the group games will be done by the time we do the next podcast, probably by Thursday, Friday, right?
Before a pre-quarter, yeah?
Yeah. We'll do before the round of 16 for sure.
Yep.
We'll do that before the round of 16, but right when the group games end, we'll do the review of that one next. All right. Thanks, Jared. Thanks, Nikhil. This was fun. Go Germany, I hope.
Thank you, Sham, and thank you, Jared.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Let's hope so. We'll be in touch over the Germany-Spain game.
And, yes.
Let's hope for some good news. Let's hope the group remains spicy and Spain don't run away with it.
Yeah.
But other than that, guys, thanks very much for watching. Join us again next week and join us for Thursday for the main podcast as well. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy. I will see you